Hello and welcome to another one of my YouTube duels with a focus on getting you working smart rather than frying your sanity chip through overwork. To that end, we're going to look at another dinky bite-sized quotation from Priestley's killer thriller An Inspector Calls. We'll pull out some A-star, level 9 insight, and then we're going to serve up some sizzling exam paragraphs to delight that cold hole the examiner calls his soul. And today's tiddler, today's Dinky Dog of Dialogue, comes from Sheila. She rolls out this gem when she hands Gerald back his ring. Women, I'm led to believe, don't always take an indulgent line with men cheating on them. Sheila's no exception. She hands back the ring and she says, "You and I aren't the same people who sat down to dinner here." Why have I drawn a picture of a monster shooting from a dude's belly? Well, that's just me being a funny bunny, imagining that Sheila was actually talking literally here. And, like some sci-fi classic like The Thing or The World's End, normal people were being replaced by alien clones. Or Mr. Taylor, could you be any more? #hilaire. But obviously Sheila is not talking literally. She's talking metaphorically. What she means, of course, when she says, "You and I aren't the same people who sat down at dinner here," what she means is that she has changed. Fueled by Ghoul's disclosures about her family's involvement in Eva's death, Sheila has dropped her childish, selfish ways like a hot snot. She's experienced a socialist conversion. This is a lassie no longer prepared to enjoy a life of privilege on the backs of the exploited working class. Let's now drill down a little bit deeper into this line. If you've watched my videos before, you know my tireless exploration of those deeper or alternative meanings, because that's how you catapult yourself towards the highest grades. And Sheila here comes across as a little bit naive, a little bit innocent. She's kind of got this childlike faith in human nature. Because, although Gerald wavers a little bit in Act 2, by Act 3, he's gone back to his capitalist roots. What does he say? "Everything's all right now, Sheila." And that line shows in Act 3 that this is a guy happy to hit rewind and forget he ever saw the high price of capitalist exploitation. Next step, let's turn rough into buff. Let's take my scrappy rough ideas on that line, "We're not the same people who sat down to dinner here," and give it a makeover. Shape it into an exam paragraph so gorgeous it should have its own line of perfume. Like this sublime specimen of level 9 loveliness, I've colour coded it for clarity, point in red, evidence in blue, explanation, the secondary explanation in purple, and the context in black. Stuff underlined in green, that links to the question, which is on social class, so it's making my response task focused. And the stuff in red is some high level vocabulary that I've woven in to create that critical style that you do get a mark for, that kind of formal or academic style of writing. Damascene conversion, that's a very high level term in that first paragraph. That just means a very dramatic, instant conversional switch. It comes from the Bible. Anything else in red there they're not sure about, just dig out your dictionary. Now, Mr. Taylor may be a child of the 80s, he may know his Hubba Bubba from his Truffle Shuffle, but this book he's written is bang up to date. If you're sitting GCSE exams and Inspector Calls this year, especially Excel students, you're going to want a piece of this. I've said before, generally don't care if you buy it or not, but it's level 9 exam responses. If you can benefit from that, buy it. If not, don't. It's your choice. I've tonked in another exam response here using that same quotation, "We're not the same people who sat down at dinner here." You'll see that I've adapted this response, made a few tweaks and massages to fit the new question on learning. The context is different too. If you don't like it, don't use it, though I do have a video to support it. The 3 exam responses that I've put into this video, I've changed the context each time simply to demonstrate how a number of contextual features can be rolled out to fit effectively with the analysis of this quotation. The 3rd and final exam response here, this time it's responding to a question on Sheila. Another contextual dazzler, as promised. Drink it in if you're so inclined. And let's pack up our troubles in the old kit bag. We've seen another little quotation that can earn its keep in the exam. As they say in Spanish, buena suerte, or as they say in English, best of luck, particularly in that exam hall.